Do you think it is just money driven though?
No, it's not just money driven. He knows that if he comes lacking, Crawford gonna beat him. Crawford knows if he comes lacking, Canelo gonna beat him. No, it's not money driven at all. Money just was a good reason to make the fight happen.
And Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter, but he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence does.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate you, man.
You interact together. What is it in your mind?
I think he's just used to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's a different stage, man. But I don't know, man. It's like
the showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez lived up to the hype, giving fans exactly what they wanted. Afterward, boxing experts praised the atmosphere, highlighting how confidently Crawford dealt with the passionate Mexican crowd and the electric energy in the arena. Both men showed respect for each other while carrying immense pressure. Canelo putting his super middleweight legacy on the line, and Crawford chasing history as a three-division undisputed champion. Though many felt it was a massive challenge, Crawford's calm focus and composure proved he deserved his place among the sport's elite.
From the Mexican fans really well, and then towards the end of the press conference, he's so succinct and pithy in everything he says, Bud, that his supporters eventually came to the fore in the arena. He's incredibly popular. Canelo's he's not arrogant, but he's got so much self-belief. And then it's like a game of ping pong, back and forth all the time. Great atmosphere. We've had a brilliant day interviewing so many people about it. Today makes me feel really stoked about this fight now.
Stoked, it's a great word.
Stoked.
There's a lot of respect between both guys. I think they both know what they've got themselves into. Obviously, Terence is on the precipice of history. Three-weight undisputed champion, not been done in the modern era. And obviously Canelo Alvarez, he's taking a big risk here. He's fighting what everybody's saying is the smaller guy. But when he was up on that stage, both guys paying an awful amount of respect to each other, both admitting that this is a 50-50 and could go either way.
Yeah, no nostalgia. They were asked about nostalgia and the biggest fight of their lives. Neither man wants to think about those things. They know they've got an elitist fighter in front of them. Canelo, like you say, has his legacy to lose in many ways that he's created in recent times at super middleweight, being undefeated in that division for 6.5 years against a guy that's come up from lightweight. Let's not forget that he beat Ricky Burns to win the world title at the beginning. It's a massive ask for Terence Crawford still, but there's that feeling in all of us that he is capable of doing it, and he presents that the whole time. He's got this poker face. He's got this ability to respond in the right way to everything.
At the higher weight, Crawford showed he could earn Canelo's respect by standing his ground and trading shots instead of retreating. Observers pointed out that he didn't rely on a purely defensive Mayweather-style approach, but stayed true to his own game by blending sharp counters with smart movement. Canelo's relentless pressure and power reminded everyone why he rules at super middleweight, while Crawford's calmness and ability to adjust under fire underlined his greatness. The fight brought back memories of past Canelo challenges, but carried its own unique intensity.
At 168 pounds, it is going to be a bit of a mystery how he comes into this weight class. There were some rumors of a shoulder injury. I'm not putting any stock into that because I don't think we can unless there's anything official really out there. Point being, there's got a lot of question marks around Terence Crawford. This video, we are going to suppose that those question marks are answered in full force by Terence Crawford being an absolute monster at this weight class. It's a lot of assuming, but it's kind of what we have to do to see the best version of Terence Crawford in this fight. So let's assume the weight doesn't bother him. Let's assume he is fully healthy, not injured. Let's assume that Canelo's power is not too much from him coming up from 147, 154 to 168. Let's assume all that's true. How does Terence Crawford win this fight? Number one, he has to get Canelo's respect early. Terence Crawford is not going to fight this fight on his back foot, circling around the ring like William Skull or Edgar Berlanga, any of these guys that got hit by Canelo and went, ooh, no, I don't want any part of that. That can't happen. And do not forget, by the way, that Charlo was 154 undisputed champion.
When the dust settled, many echoed the views of Carl Froch and Hamza Shiraz, noting how Crawford's timing, skill, and composure on such a big stage left a lasting mark. At the same time, Canelo's legacy was ever-present, shaped by past battles with names like Gennady Golovkin and Floyd Mayweather that refined his craft and added to his aura. His power still commands respect, not only from the crowd, but also from analysts watching ringside. The fight showcased the balance between Crawford's precision and Canelo's proven strength, serving less as a debate over who was better and more as a celebration of two great fighters, one cementing his reputation and the other extending his legacy.
Talk about Crawford, Canelo, before we move on to you and Canelo.
Yeah.
Who you got for this? I mean, this is an exciting fight. What's your pick for this one?
I think Canelo's going to win rounds 8 to 10 knockout.
You think he'll get a stoppage, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's going to get the stoppage. I think...
Are you basing that just on size? Or?
No. It's a little bit on size, but I think Crawford's ego is not going to let him box. You got to remember,
so you think he'll take him on?
Yeah. I think he'll do what he has to do at the start, realise it's not going to work. Later on, try and match him, and that's it. Game over.
See, I think if Crawford's going to do the job, it's got to be boxing, moving, keeping
that's the only way it can be done. He can't fight him, can he?
No, he can't fight. And you're saying there he gets drawn in because he just might do because he's unbeaten. He fancies himself as a bit of a tough. Well, he's tough, isn't he? He's tough, strong. He does everything well.
Yeah.
But at this weight, but Canelo was down at welterweight when he started, up at light heavyweight, and obviously been beat. He lost to Mayweather and lost to Dimitri Bivol.
Yeah,
Bivol was too much for him.
Yeah,
back down at super middleweight now. That's probably his comfortable weight, and you just think Crawford's just not big enough.
Nah, I don't think he is, man. And the thing is, with someone like Canelo, you gotta either throw punches in bunches like Bivol did, or you gotta be there where he respects your power, like GGG and these guys. So. It sounds a bit mad, but I don't think Crawford's got either or. He's talented, one of the best fighters in our generation, but you've got to remember you're going up. 2 divisions, 3 divisions.
Yeah, 2 or 3 divisions.
It's different, the game's different up there.
And Canelo's not going anywhere, is it? Because he got clipped. You mentioned Bivol there, and Bivol smashed him with quite a lot of big heavy shots.
Yeah.
And he coped.
He took it.
Never been down, has
he? He ate it, and it didn't phase him. So I don't see how Crawford can hurt him.
The fight clearly showed the difference between a natural super middleweight and a challenger stepping up in weight. Canelo's experience at 168 pounds allowed him to take punches that would trouble most fighters, while Crawford relied on speed, adaptability, and non-stop work to stay competitive. Both displayed bursts of power, sharp timing, and constant adjustments that kept the result in doubt. As the later rounds approached, fatigue and pressure began to play a bigger role, creating dramatic moments in the closing stretch.
It's quite difficult to read. Canelo's not as difficult, but Canelo's just so much more experienced. And yes, they're going to look physically the same, but he's the natural 168 pounder. He's the one that's taken shots from guys that probably on a fight night weigh in nearly 200 pounds, and he's been able to eat those shots, eat them, right? I mean, we haven't seen Canelo wobbled since Miguel Cotto's brother wobbled him way back when, right? I mean, apart from that, this guy's taken shots off Gennady Golovkin. And anyone that can eat shots off Golovkin, I'm sorry, you've got my full respect, because we know how hard Golovkin hits. What will Crawford's legs look like after a few rounds against Canelo? Like, Crawford's going to have to be active. One thing Crawford's got to understand as well, this in Vegas. If you want to beat Canelo, you got to beat Canelo. A bit like Bivol did. You've got to make sure there is no arguments. It's all said and done. I did way more work. So Crawford's got to be busy. Canelo, we just know, isn't going to revert back to Canelo of 6-7 years ago. It ain't going to happen. So what Canelo does do is he tries to hurt you with one big shot now. He won't load up. He'll tap you, then bang. I think we've seen that, especially that shot he throws where it looks like he's going to go to the body, then it goes up top. He's really good at that shot. So Crawford's got to look out for that. I think Crawford wins quite a few of the early rounds. And then I think the weight of Canelo's punches, the weight in Crawford's legs start to take some impact. And I think Canelo starts to eat a lot of the second half of the fight rounds. And then I think it comes down to who can do something in 11 and 12 championship rounds. I really do believe that's how it's going to play out. I've got a feeling that Canelo will hurt Crawford.
After the fight, talk naturally turned to drug testing, with some questioning whether Canelo faced the same level of scrutiny as others at this weight. Still, the main focus remained on the performance in the ring. Both fighters showed discipline, conditioning, and preparation that spoke to the work they put in. Crawford earned praise for carrying his skill set up to a higher division, while Canelo's toughness against sharp punches reminded fans why he has ruled for so long. Even so, the topic of doping lingered, not as a direct accusation, but as a recurring theme whenever Canelo fights.
Around a whole bunch of dope people, right? His whole camp, we all know 7 people's been busted there. So how and why is no one asking about if he's been dope tested for this mega fight. Right? And that's what I've been watching for. And that's why, my interest is waning, my interest, because I understand that there's people who don't care. You know what I call boxing here. BTBG. Beat the black guy. That's what I call boxing. That's what I've been seeing for years. Right? Example, who gave a damn when Devin Haney was cheated with Ryan Garcia? Full of dope. All they were doing is celebrating a win, was what they were calling it, with somebody dope.
Bob Arum summed up the fight by noting how Crawford displayed his trademark intelligence, mixing offense with smart defensive adjustments, while Canelo relied more on experience than speed or flash. At times, Canelo leaned on ringcraft and patience, picking spots for his power shots rather than throwing in volume, showing the evolution of a fighter who has refined his style over time. Crawford, on the other hand, carried himself like a man out to prove that pure skill can overcome size and division limits. The contrast between Crawford's sharp, determined approach and Canelo's seasoned maturity defined much of what unfolded, with Arum's point that Canelo has shifted from a whirlwind puncher to a calculated strategist ringing true. The atmosphere itself reminded everyone how comfortable Canelo is under the brightest lights.
Are you willing to pick him over Canelo? That fight's gonna happen in September at 168.
Well, it's a big difference in weight with Canelo and Terence. But if any fighter has a chance with Canelo, it's Terence. Terence is a super talent, and he has a real chance, despite the weight disparity, to beat Canelo. A real chance.
Who would you favor, though? Or is it just 50-50?
It's very hard because of the difference in weight. I would think that if I had to bet the fight, that I would bet Terence, because Terence has more skills than Canelo. But he's given away a lot of weight, a lot of real weight. So that matters. But again, Terence is a tremendously skilled fighter. So is Canelo a very skilled fighter. But he doesn't have the same skill set as Terence does.
Gabriel Rosado's remarks rang true as fans watched a fighter in Canelo who has headlined the sport's biggest stages for more than a decade, showing total composure and never once seeming fazed by the moment. Crawford, though new to this level of spotlight, matched that energy with a calm presence of his own, proving he was equally prepared for the stage. With so many high-pressure exchanges, the fight became less about survival and more about two athletes performing with confidence and poise under the brightest lights.
I feel like it's leaning towards Canelo, man.
Really?
Yeah.
And what gives you that feeling when you think about it? Is it the way he looks? Is it the way they interact together? What is it in your mind?
I think he's just used to the stage. You know what I'm saying? It's a different stage, man. But I don't know, man. It's like I said, Crawford that dude. But I don't know, man. I think Canelo gonna get it.
Is there anything that you feel like Terence is giving off that makes you feel like maybe the moment is too big, in your opinion, having seen it time and time again, or is it just a gut feeling you have?
No, man, I just think, man, that, it's just comfortability, like as far as weight and, activity. Canelo's been active. And, I don't know, man. It's hard to be on your A game when you ain't fighting over a year. So, especially when you fight top level.
What makes it difficult when you've been out for a year?
It's timing.
What is it about coming back?
It's just that timing. It's that timing, you know what I'm saying? It's like...
Richard Schaefer highlighted the significance of Canelo's journey, from a teenager entering the sport to becoming a global icon, with his natural presence at 168 pounds showing how established he is at the weight. Facing him, Crawford represented a different path, an ambitious champion willing to climb divisions and test his limits. The fight brought both stories together, Canelo's durability and growth over years at the top, and Crawford's fearless pursuit of greatness, pitting a once promising prospect turned legend against a relentless champion pushing beyond boundaries.
Morning weigh-in?
Yeah, we just stepped away from the, just stepped on the scale, 167.5. Crawford has the same weight. Interesting. And so they both seem to be in great shape. Canelo is ready. He's mentally ready as well, in a great mood. Feels strong, looks strong, and is ready to perform.
My prediction, Canelo stoppage 8. It's a great fight, two great fighters. What do you think? How does this fight unfold?
Yeah, I could see that somewhere between the 8 and the 10. It's just like, you know, I'm not so sure that that Crawford gaining, moving up to, weighing in at 167.5 pounds is really the smartest move, because I believe that Crawford is not going to win the fight based on weight. Canelo is the bigger, stronger guy. So I think what Crawford did by actually coming in so high, he gave up some of his advantages, such as speed. So I personally think that was not a smart move, but hey, we'll take it.
You've known Canelo for many, many years, almost 20 years, 19 years. Tell me about the first time you ever met him and his route to where he is right now.
It's funny, we actually were looking the other day at some old pictures, and I shared them with Canelo. It was, he was 17 years old. It was in downtown Los Angeles at the Fiesta Broadway event, the big Hispanic festival, where he showed up with Jeppo and with Eddie, and my kids were there, my 3 sons, my wife, and they were like, you know.
Roy Jones Jr. summed up Crawford's mindset by stressing that this fight was never about money, but about testing himself against one of the sport's greatest champions. Crawford stepped in with unshakable belief, trusting his skills, preparing with precision, and showing the confidence of a fighter who understands both his limits and strengths. Throughout the bout, he displayed flashes of brilliance, adapting to challenges and staying resilient under pressure. Jones emphasized that true greatness isn't just about fighting. It's about believing you belong at the highest level. Crawford's poise and determination turned the contest into more than a spectacle. It became a statement of courage and self-belief.
And he brings that level of motivation. But do you think that it is just money driven though?
No, it's not just money driven. He knows that if he comes lacking, Crawford gonna beat him. Crawford knows if he comes lacking, Canelo gonna beat him. No, it's not money driven at all. Money just was a good reason to make the fight happen. And you ask, why did he take Crawford instead of anybody else? Because this is the best money opportunity, but it's also a better situation if you look at the whole dynamics of it. Canelo gets to be the big guy.
Yeah.
In a fight where he can make the most money he probably ever made.
Yeah.
Why would you not want that? You understand me? So no, money only incentive, but why would I not take a fight where I'm the bigger guy? You understand me? And this guy is good, don't get it wrong, which is what gets you out of bed every day. This guy is the only guy in the 4-belt era to be unified champion in 2 weight classes. If you ain't getting your behind up out of bed for him, then you don't get up out of bed for nobody.
Yeah. Look, you talk there about Crawford being the bigger guy. Everyone's really...
No, Canelo being the bigger guy.
Sorry, about Canelo being the bigger guy. Everyone's really kind of hung up on the fact that Crawford's obviously coming up 2 weight divisions. But you've said before that he naturally walks around heavier than people kind of think, that actually it's not so much about him coming up, it's about the fact that he's not boiling down as much as before. So do you think the weight is as much of a factor as people are saying it is?
No, I don't. You know, I love guys like Crawford who follow a blueprint that I set. I set that blueprint to put in their heads that just because the guy's bigger don't mean you got to lose to him. When I came in to fight Jerome Ruiz, I gave up a lot of weight. You understand me? But because I had the technique and the skill and the punching power to get my respect, I was able to win the fight. And I did that so that people can understand that just because the guy's bigger than you don't mean that he can.
Lennox Lewis pointed to the size difference that had been debated well before the fight, noting Canelo's proven strength at super middleweight and his history of handling bigger opponents with ease. Crawford, despite moving up, showed enough speed, accuracy, and power to gain respect, but the weight gap remained a constant talking point. That uncertainty added extra tension to every exchange, keeping fans on edge. As Lewis explained, the night ultimately boiled down to the classic clash of skill versus size, speed versus strength.
What do you think about this matchup? Crawford moving up 21 pounds essentially to take on the guy at 68.
Yeah, man, Crawford's an amazing fighter. I call him Kung Fu because he fights on different styles. He's, you know, hard to hit and he hits hard. And he's boxing a guy that, you know, he has to jump up in weight like 3 categories. And this man is like a body snatcher. He comes and he wears you down. So it's a great fight. He's boxed, I'm talking Canelo's boxed a lot of guys that move around. And, you know, he's used to that type of boxing. And he's used to guys that, you know, try and hide. But this Crawford ain't gonna hide from him. Crawford is looking to, you know, put some punches on him and keep him at a distance. That's what I would do if I was Crawford. And then take his opportunity. I mean, you know, I would say Canelo is not easy to...
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next update.